Alright guys, sorry about that. So like I said, the rules for this tournament is it's a best of 3 series, map mechanic after 2 minutes. The class you start with is the class you finish with, and your 3 specs that you have chosen to spec into. So for instance, a Radiance, a Valor, and Zeal is what I'm running. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 3. I cannot change these 3 specs, but I can change all these traits. I can change my utilities, my weapons, my sigils, my runes, my amulets, and I can change all those, but I cannot change my class. And you have to ready up to start. It's going to be a best of 3 series, as I mentioned. So I'm going to just write down the rules one more time for everybody, so everybody knows what exactly we're expecting. So here we go, best of 3 series. It's going to be me versus Lights, I believe. Hanunu. I don't know if I've ever seen Lights or Line that entered into this tournament before, but I'm about to find out. Core Guard is probably not the best 1v1, but I just enjoy playing it, and sometimes, sometimes I do a lot of these tournaments, and I just want to participate in them. I don't really care, and also at the same time to kind of show people that it doesn't really matter. These are just for fun, to kind of get the community in there. But at the same time, we do have a bracket, we do have a website for the league, and we do have big prizes for the winners of the playoffs. So there's still that competitive aspect that's still involved, even though it's still friendly and fun. It's not as casual, not super, super casual. I gotta be careful here. He's really got me in the ropes and using me to the... Oh, I wasted my renewed focus like a douche. I gotta try to get this Ray of Judgment. I gotta get away from him. I'm just gonna drop symbols all around me. I got him in the Binding Blade. I don't know if he has stability though. And he got me with that huge down. Let's take a look at that replay really quick, guys. I think my replay machine is working. Yes, there it is. Yeah, replayer to show that. I should think I'm going to reduce the timer a little more instead of being, I think it's 10 seconds. I'm going to make it do the last 5 seconds or something of that nature. But once again, guys, thank you so much. This is me participating in it. It's going to be a little better shoutcasting once I'm not the one who's actually participating in the match. I'm going to wait for Lights to enter one more time. Let's take a quick look at the bracket together. Here you can see the Lights and Mike is the first one. The bracket ended up actually being pretty nice considering the amount of participants. We only had one team that, or one group of people that had to fight a little early, but the rest are all nice and clean, guys. And as I mentioned, it's 5 gold for each match. And just for getting into the quarterfinals, you get even more gold. So here we go. He has readied up. Let me go back into the match so we can watch the action over here, guys. Right, facing the right one? Yeah, sometimes you get confused and I don't know which door to face. I'm like, holy shit. I kind of went into autopilot there a bit. I'm going to try to bait him a bit. I'm not going to get too aggressive on him. He's going to go into stealth already. You can see from his... I am on an O-port. He is on an O-port as well, so he's cucked over here. Oh yeah, I'm finished over here, guys. This is the end for your hero. Or is it? The kite ability on a ranger is impeccable. Good job. Oh, I thought the LOS would save me. I'm just trying to clear the distance from him. Trying to get all the damage out of my Whirling Wrath as I can. Oh, my shield was there too. Great job by him on that one. Our next one coming up, that's Lights who takes it in a Game 2 series. Our next match coming up is actually going to be Bountiful. No, we'll move right over to Zebra versus King Chrome. So it's going to be Zebra versus King Chrome on this one, guys. We're going to be, no, that was actually me, so it's okay. I don't have to send that gold. Next match. I'll post it right now. So let's take a quick look at these are the two guys that I wanted in there. This is Zebra, and this is Colossus Firestorm. This is King Chrome. Let's take a quick look at what King Chrome is running. Colossus, he's got Staff Greatsword, running with Rune of the Eagle and Berserker Amulet. Radiance, Zeal, and Virtue is very interesting. He's always bringing something unique to these tournaments, so I always appreciate really watching that. So here we go into a staff with a short bow. He's got Rune of the Eagle with Marauder Amulet, Deadly Arts, Trickery, and a Daredevil. They just have to ready up. This is going to be a best of 3 series, so I'm super excited to see this.
Zeb's elite is interesting.
Hold on, guys. I'm just going to... I don't mean to be rude or anything, but every time you guys say something, it throws me off a lot.
Alright. You want to move down to a
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just, I love these guys and I like it when they're in there, but when I'm trying to focus on the action and I hear something, I think usually they're trying to tell me about someone can't get in, so I stop talking and I try to listen to what they say. Oh, Colossus getting big damage from Zeb right away. That was big damage. He's got to be very, very mindful. Let's take a look at his cooldowns over here. He does have renewed focus that just came up. He is running with, is that Litany? No, he is running with Shelter, and that's probably what saved him from that big burst. But now Zeb is kind of low on his own here. He's running out of a lot of cooldowns, and actually Colossus gets the big down in the end. That was very exciting gameplay right away from the get-go. Big damage. He actually ends up going down, but this is going to be pretty dangerous. I think Zeb's already really low. He does have his heal to come up. Really, really nice job coming out of these guys. Here, I'll post the brackets for you there. And I'll go into the Discord and I'll post the brackets for these guys there as well. And once again, to Deuce, Dabs, and Chrome, I didn't mean to be rude, guys, but like I said, when I try to focus on commenting, sometimes when I hear something, I get distracted. I think it's something else when it's not. But, oh, guys, while we're waiting, I'll take a quick look at our 1v1 and 2v2 website that we have over here. This is our second season, so this is the main page, as you can see. It's called Code Red Revival. We'll take a quick look at our leaderboards for the season. You can see our 1v1 leaders, our 2v2 leaders. These are the stats for the 2v2 league. This is our last season winners. You can see the roster over here as well. These are our 1v1 leaders. Let's take a quick look at Shiro for this one. As you can see, he's got a Class Thief, total of 9 games played, 5 games won, 4 lost. You can see his stats over here, his win rate, his total wins, interesting info. He conducts very unique Guild Wars 2 events, one of the premier Deni currently playing. So you'll see all that biography for the top 12 1v1 guys, and you can see the stats for the 2v2 guys over here. We're also going to be having a Fashion Wars that's going to be coming up as well. Our seasons correlate with the, what's going on with this guy? Where's, Zebra? Let me just let him know. I think he's a little confused. Zebra, it's gained 3 best of 3 series, sir. Sorry guys, that's our bracket. And that's the website that we have. So if there's any info that you want to add about yourself, and if you do make it to the top and you want to put yourself there, just mail me in Twitch or in game and send me some interesting info that you want me to put up of yourself. This is also the Discord, guys, if you want to join the community. I post events here every day, so when I do them, if you look below, you'll see a little bit about me, what our goals are, the schedule, things of that nature. So actually, here we go. Zeb is actually back in. And this is why I like Best of 3 series. It really allows the participant to adjust to the opponent's technique, his style, his flow. So you don't necessarily even have to change your build. It's just more kind of reading your opponent, adjusting to how he comes in for his burst, what he likes to combo together. And right now he wasn't able to get that big burst on Colossus right away. And at the same time, it's a catch-22, you know, maybe it made him a little complacent and he tried to go for the down, allowing Colossus that window of opportunity. Big staff damage coming out from Zeb on that one. That was really, really nice. Colossus goes down, and we're going into a game 3 over here. Let's take a look at that replay. Really nice. You can see him almost at a half health over here, but that's all it takes, really. Even 3/4 health at this point. And then he just chunks him really, really, really well. Ooh, yeah, he was at half health, chunked him. Alright, here we go into game 3, guys, and this is our first game 3 of our series, and this is the second game of actually the 1v1, so I'm super excited about that. Shades of things to come. We have a lot of big dogs in here, and we do have a lot of new guys as well, so I'm super curious, and I believe Zebra Keating, Zebra. I believe he's one of the new guys as well. I've never seen him in this tournament. And like I mentioned, guys, I love seeing new guys coming to these tournaments. It just makes me excited, seeing what they're capable of and seeing what they can do. And I know Chrome is a veteran of these tournaments, so he's no slouch himself. So Zeb, you're doing a really good job. Nice line of warding coming out from Colossus. Ports right onto him with the sword. Trying to get that big damage from the symbols as well. Tries to get that binding blade, but he's not able to. Keating goes into those big vaults. I believe those are. I didn't even take a look at his build. I don't think I did. Colossus is in big trouble. He uses the shelter to mitigate some of that. He's also used his renewed focus. Depth is really low. He tries to go for the big whirling. He doesn't able to get it. Trying to get those big long range staff damage. Double dodge over here. He does have the Aegis that procs. Just barely saves him. Zeb Keating is hanging on by a wire, but so is Colossus into a downstate fight. Now he has the port. He is able to port out. This is going to be epic. Our first. Whoa, I've had a downstate fight in a long time. There we go, big damage. Oh, and Zeb Keating ends up taking it. Colossus, you get 5 gold, sir, for participating. I really do appreciate you coming into this, my friend. All right, guys, let's take a look at our next bracket coming up. Oh, sorry, I wasn't on it. There it is. So it's actually Zebra that moves forward in a 2-1 series. And I mark these all down, so when I go in to make the roster for the website, I have them all here. So it's Pzak versus a Line on this one, guys. Pzak versus Line. Let's see if they're here. They should be here. I'm just calling them out into the map chat, so it gives them takes a minute or two for them to adjust. And especially if they're new. Pzak and Line, I think, are both really new. But look at that. Amazingly, they're both right in there. And I really appreciate when these participants do that. Helps us keep the flow going really well. I could have added a couple more reliefs in there. Sword with axe and a longbow. Eagle with demolishers. Beast mastery, marksmanship, and soul beast. Let's take a look at harrowing folly, radiance, valor, and virtues. He looks like your typical core guard, and these are really strong. I really enjoy watching them. Marauder, rune of the lynx. Sword focus. I believe it was sword focus he was having over there. Yeah, sword shield. Excuse me, with great sword. Yeah, that's Pzak and this is Line. Both, and once again, guys, both brand new to my tournaments. Really excited to see what they're going to bring out in this one. I'm going to watch Harrowing Folly, the core guard, for this. Oh, I can't see anything. Oh, there we go. He's kind of sitting inside there, and that's a pretty good strat considering that it's the Ranger, and he has a lot of pressure that he can put out. And there he goes, going out to try to engage him, trying to go for that no port spot. Gets him. Oh, he doesn't actually land that while he got the whirling defense up to try to mitigate that. He didn't land the whirling impact. He did get the whirling defense and baited him in really good. Nice counter pressure coming out from Harrowing over here. Good bait. Oh, yeah. Gets him in the barrage, too, but he uses the corner of the steps just to LOS it. Very smart move, and this map is all about using terrain. You got to be really clever. There's a lot of no ports, a lot of obstructions, a lot of LOS, a lot of 2 tiers. Oh, he's really low. Nice job by Harrowing over here. Just porting back up and creating that LOS and knowing that he has those ports through his availability. He just comes right up on top of him. He dumps the damage. Really good job by Harrowing on that one. Let's take a look at that replay, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, guys. If you like this content, click that follow, click that subscribe. I do these kinds of things every single day. Just trying to bring back to the community and reinvigorate Guild Wars 2 a little bit. We've been having some really good success. A lot of old streamers are coming back. A lot of old players are coming back. And I've been streaming for about 3 months, which isn't very long considering, all things considered. But when I started streaming, Guild Wars 2 never hit 1,000 streamers. In the past 6 days in a row, it's hit 1,000 viewers. Excuse me, 1,000 viewers. So that's really good. And it's not that much, to be honest. You look at WoW, who's got 55, 60K. But considering Guild Wars 2 doesn't usually hit 1,000, if ever, and for the past 6 days in a row hitting 1,000 viewers is really good. And it's just going up and up and up, like I mentioned, with the devs doing a really good job, trying to stay up on updates, being more vocal, getting good hot fixes, not waiting for long patches. The balance patches are starting to get better. They're starting to divide the dev teams a little more, PvP and PvE separated. Harrowing Folly going for the same tactic again, trying to lure in Zion, and he's just trying to use LOS. Nice barrage or knockback. Good damage coming out from the line over there, but he also took a lot in the ricochet. A lot of retaliation as well. Nice big damage from Harrowing. That was really epic. That was done. If you blinked, Monthyon EU had 700. No, yeah, exactly. Teapot had a lot. Teapot does get these. Teapot and Wooden Potatoes are probably the biggest Guild Wars 2 streamers, aside from Guild Wars 2s themselves, that are the biggest streamers that we have today. I think the record that we've had was actually from the Mighty Teapot, who got 17,000 viewers from his ERP. He's actually doing another big tournament, and this is what I like about so many different people on the streaming platform. Oh, sorry guys, let me get back into this really quick. That was Pizik that won in a 2-game series very quickly. Now we have White Shorts versus Malgoris. White Shorts versus Malgoris. I'm going to allow them 2 minutes to enter. I know Malgoris is here. There's Pink Shorts. I'm going to give him a minute. There's a controversy. Yeah, I believe that's Malgoris. And he's brand new to my tournaments as well. He actually entered in from the stream at Pink Shorts. You guys know him. He's an incredible streamer, a veteran that came out of hiatus. He's already pushed his way into the legendary title or legendary bracket, and he's very knowledgeable, very strong, a very strong player. He's running great sword focus. He's got infiltration with Marauder, domination, dueling, and Mirage. Let's take a quick look at controversy. Running on the Condi Necro, which is really strong core Condi Necro, really strong lately. He's running sword, Warhorn with staff. He's got Herald with the Rabbit amulet. I don't see Rabbit too often. Maybe I do, and I'm just stupid. That's very possible. He's keeping his distance. Short's looking for his moment of opportunity to come in there and burst on him. He is running Marauder, tries to get that big burst. Controversy does get out really nice. Good kite ability on that. He does have at least a quarter shroud left to his availability, so he does have his oh shit button, so to speak. Let me keep an eye on Pink Shorts here. He's just trying to keep the pressure, but he is respecting controversy, staying far away. Nice burst. He's got to get some counter pressure onto Shorts. If he doesn't, it's going to be big trouble. He's just basically attacking on whim whenever he so chooses. Controversy's on the defensive. Can he pull out something? He needs that Rabbit right now. This is a bad situation. Port's right on top of him, dumps the big damage. Good job by Pink Shorts. This is a best of 3 series, so Controversy, you will have your chance to retaliate. But as I mentioned in here, thank you so much, Cam FTW, for the raid, man. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, Cam. Welcome, guys, from Cam Stream. We're in the process of a 1v1 tournament. You just came into the heat of the battle. We're going into a game 2. This is a best of 3 series. We have about 18 participants in this one. It's going to be a doozy. Mondays are usually not that bad. They're actually pretty, today there was actually a pretty good turnout. Over, I think we had over 23 signups and over 18 people that actually roster checked. So that's pretty good. Let's take a look at Controversy to see if he made any changes. I don't think so far. He's got a tall order. As I mentioned, Shorts is a really good streamer. Very strong. You're going to have to be able to try to bait him out if you can. Use LOS to your best advantage. So instead of using your utilities, try to bait him into an LOS. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of good streamers. Take a look at these guys. These are some of them. I don't have White Shorts in there and Jebro. Jebro's a staple in the streaming community for Guild Wars 2. Should definitely check him out. There's Moof as well. You should definitely check out, guys. There's a bunch of people that are really good. Support your community, man. Here we go. Controversy now. He's, like I said, he's got a tall order. Now you see him on the shoulder of the stairs using that no port plus the LOS with an obstruction to boot. You can't get any more than that. Now Shorts is just trying to bait him to use. He's got to be careful here. That's the opening he's looking for. Good job by Controversy just using that terrain. And this, like I said, this map is all about terrain. Goes in for that big burst. Beautiful dodge from Controversy. Understanding that it's coming. Using the stun break. Getting out of that mode. And he does have the Spectral Walk. He might port back up. He's waiting for Shorts to come down. But if he doesn't come down, he ends up to choose to stay there. And he was very patient. He saw the big stun. He didn't immediately break out of it. He waited for Shorts to get a little closer. Shorts is trying to find his opportunity, just kind of softening him up a bit. Controversy, he's got to put down some damage. He drops the Spectral Ring. He does get the fear on Shorts, but he's not able to capitalize on that little moment of, little window of opportunity. Controversy's backed up a bit. He's in the wide open. He's trying to go for that LOS again one more time. He does have the Spectral Walk, and he does have Plague Lance that comes up, so in case he needs it, he can use that as his oh shit. We have about 45 seconds left in this map mechanic. Controversy's not doing too bad. He does go into Plague... No, that was into Shroud, excuse me, not Plague Lance, and he does pop the Spectral Walk right before, but decides not to use it. Now, Pink Shorts, as I mentioned, with no pressure on him, he's kind of just walking around wherever he wants, doing whatever he wants, just dumping damage onto Controversy, trying to make him sustain through it. We got 25 seconds left in this map mechanic, and as I mentioned, after the map mechanic, there is no more healing. So you cannot heal, and there's an AoE effect that comes from both spawn points. Trying to get that big damage onto Controversy, he's in a little bit of trouble here. And our next match after this, guys, just so we know, is Kodo versus Madison. Our next match after this is Kodo versus Madison. Controversy actually resustaining over here. There's 0 seconds now. There's no more healing. He's in a lot of hot water. He's trying to keep the pressure up onto Pink Shorts if he can. But no, that's just not enough. He ends up taking him down. Thank you so much, Controversy, for coming. And here, sir, is your 5 gold for joining. I really do appreciate it. So our next match coming up, guys, let me just write it out in the map chat. Next match, Kodo versus Madison. And to you guys on Twitch, thank you so much for coming out and participating and watching, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. So this is Kodo. I believe Madison is here. We're going to wait for them to enter up. That was a really, really good match. Well, kind of like the Homer Simpson versus Mike Tyson, but still it was entertaining to see the kiting and the big burst coming out. I think Madison did just show up. So the White Shorts that takes in the Game 2 series, or in 2 in that series. Let's take a quick look at Maddie U. Let me just make sure this is the person that I want. This should be Madison. Yeah, it is Madison. They're running Invocation, Devastation, and Herald, Sword, Staff. Berserker leadership. Interesting. We got Kodo running the a little less docile, a little more docile with the Marauder, but still Devastation, Invocation, and Herald. I don't see these guys too often in my 1v1s. It's usually the Condi revs that I see nowadays. They seem to be much more dominant, or played a lot more frequently. Both double staffing 5 into each other. And I'm going to watch out for Matty here. He's a lot more susceptible to damage, but at the same time, he can pump out a lot more, especially on that Sword 3 where he's completely invuln. Just trying to dump him. There you go. You see him taking a lot of damage from there. And he doesn't, not necessarily he takes more damage, but his health pool is just not as big. So when that damage hits, you can see that bigger chunk come off from his health pool. Kodo doing a really good job. Tries to get the Shackling Wave. Nice Staff 5 onto him. I believe that was the Staff 5. Mitigating a lot of that, but getting that nice counter pressure. Dropping the big AoE to force them up the stairs. That AoE from a Rev does a lot of damage. So it really can dominate an area and force an opponent out. Good job by Kodo on that one. Let's take a look at that replay, guys. Really, really, really nice stuff coming out from Kodo. One of the premier revenants that we have. And as I showed you before, guys, on the website, let's take a quick look at that. Here's our roster on the website for our 1v1, and you can see Kodo is actually number 3 on our 1v1 list. Our season starts with the Guild Wars 2 season, so it's only been active for about 2 weeks, but he's got about 8 games in him so far, 6 games won and 2 games lost, so he's very, very, very strong revenant. Someone to definitely expect to get into the semifinals. Well, we're going to see how he does. Let's go back to the action. We're waiting for Madison. I'm not sure if Madison realizes. And like I said, some of these people are new, so they don't entirely understand the method of which we're using to do these matches. So I'm going to let them know right now. Best of 3 series, Maddie. Actually, my niece's name is Madison. Let's see if they're still here. If they're not here, I'm going to give the bye to, or give the victory to Kodo. Okay, they're re-entering again. Nice, perfect. This is what I like to see. A lot of action, a lot of games. I don't think Maddie made any changes. Let's see if they switched off from Berserker. No, they're still going strong with Berserker. And this could be dangerous for the opponent if they're able to land a lot of their damage. But if they get countered or they get baited, you know, in a lot of top tier matches, it's kind of like just baiting your opponent to do the first attack and then countering upon their attack. You're just waiting for them to do their big move and then just countering. So that's what's going to be a lot on Maddie here. They got to try to bait them, sustain through their major damage, and then counter on top of them. Dropping the AoE, trying to force them off a little bit. I don't know why my camera keeps resetting. Drops the AoE, forcing him once again. As you can see, they respect that AoE. He's going to be in big danger here. Does have the heal coming up. Unfortunately, used a little too early. Does catch him in the Glen Elite. Tries to get the Shackling Wave, but doesn't get it. Big knockdown coming up from. Drops the AoE, creating a little more distance. Good combo over there from Maddie. Catching Kodo by off guard. Just literally turning on the Jets and going at it full ham. Once again, jumping in with that Sword 3. Trying to use that staff for a little bit more evasion. Surviving a little long. He's only got 6 seconds until that elite comes up. Oh, no, doesn't make it. That was a really good combo, but nice try from Maddie on that one. Here is your 5 gold for participating. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, guys. Our next match coming up is going to be Deuce versus Leafstorm. Ooh, Deuce versus Leafstorm. Let me update that. That was Kodo that took it in game 2. So that's going to be reflecting on his stats as well. Moving up in the brackets. Maybe he'll be pushing into second place. Who knows, guys? We also have playoffs at the end of our regular season. And then those guys contend for a big, big grand prize. So here we have Leafmender, and this is Deuce, Char Miracle. Let's take a quick look at Leafmender. He's actually running Dragon Hunter. We don't see Dragon Hunter too often in our tournaments. So he's got Sword Shield with Longbow, running Root of the Trapper and Valkyrie Amulet. He's got Valor, Virtues, and Dragon Hunter. Let's take a quick look at Char Miracle. He's running Discipline, Strength, and Tactics. He's got Great Sword, Axe, and Shield. He's running with Rune of the Fighter and Berserker Amulet. Very curious to see how this is going to play out. Leafmender doesn't have too much in the way of sustain. He is running with, no, he doesn't have too much in the way of sustain. He's just got to make sure that he lands his burst, make sure he hits true. Char Miracle on the other hand, he's going Berserker actually. He's been trying to fiddle with this build for quite some time now, but he's been getting some good success. We're about to find out how much success he's been getting. Sorry guys, opting for the shoulder right away. Trying to get him that big axe though. The axe sword is huge, can do a lot of damage, and as well keeps that cripple, especially for a warrior who doesn't have much long range. Helps him stay within melee range, keep the pressure, force the enemy to get a little excited, maybe use some cooldowns. And this is a tactic that you see Deuce use a lot, very frequently, using the Rampage early. And not only does it force the opponent to use a lot of cooldowns, but it also lets him have access to it at the end of the match. As you can see, it's almost a little more... tries to drop some traps. Unfortunately, Deuce didn't get into it. He rolls through that other trap. Leafstorm's in a little bit of trouble here, but he's actually doing quite well. They're exchanging quite evenly. He's running out a little bit of cooldowns. He catches him here, and that's all it takes for a... Ooh, he almost gets him in that huge Eviscerate. Tries to get him in that Whirlwind again, but Leafmender just barely gets out of it. And those are the big damage doers for Warrior. And it could look like a very slow-paced match, but once he gets him in one stun combo, it could be the beginning of the end. Just constantly keeping on top of their opponent, chunking their health away. As you can see right here, nice job by Leafmender over here. He's actually doing a quite good job. And there you go, one Whirlwind. Tries to get him that Eviscerate again, but Leafmender being very vigilant on those blocks. Trying to drop a couple traps, trying to lure Deuce in. We got 25 seconds left in this map mechanic. Oh, almost spells disaster, and Deuce does get that. I believe that was the Bull's Charge on that. Getting Deuce down. Let's take a quick look at that replay. Here we go into game 2, guys. And that was I think that was yeah, I believe that was a Bull's Charge. It seemed like a pulse charge to me, at least. So let's go into game 2. Let's take a quick look at Leaf Bender over here. He didn't have too much success. So let's see if he opts for a change of strategy or a change of build here. Doesn't look like he's changed too much. Not from my eye, at least. Maybe you guys would know a little better. Jesus, my camera's going nuts. So that pressure is on Leaf Bender here. It's a make or break situation. If he loses, he's out of the tournament for this one. He goes into that early Rampage once again, and this is what we saw before, really putting that pressure onto Leaf Storm, forcing him to use a lot of cooldowns. And then as soon as Deuce comes out of Rampage, he literally has him very, very soft. He's able to land a lot of his CC. Leaf Bender again on the run. Big trouble over here, and all it takes is one or two big eviscerates or a whirlwind. Good job by Leaf Bender using that obstruction and staying at the back of the obstruction so the whirlwind wasn't able to hit him on that. Gets him in that good spear, gets the good pull, pulls him through the trap as well, but not enough damage, put it down onto Deuce, especially considering that Deuce is running on a Berserker Amulet. His mitigation of damage is through the roof. Tries to get him with that 100 Blades, but again, Leaf Bender using that terrain perfectly, avoiding most of that big damage, forcing Deuce just to come up and start attacking him and baiting him right into that Shield of Absorption right through the trap. Nice job, he whirlwinds right through it. We got 55 seconds, another trap. Leaf Bender doing everything he can to stay alive, being very kitey, doing a much better job, and as you can see, one big eviscerate coming from Deuce, chunks him all the way down to about half health. Very, very, very dangerous. Tries to drop the trap once again. I think he might be trying to last until the map mechanic, because as I mentioned, when you hit the map mechanic, there's no more healing. Another trap is dropped. Leaf Storm's in a little bit of trouble. He's kind of playing cat and mouse over here. A little bit of pick and go. Getting a little bit of damage and moving. Tries to get him in that eviscerate. That could have spelled disaster. Gets him in the blade trail. There's that rampage. As I mentioned, using the rampage early allows him to have access to it later on in the fight. And he's not getting too much of an advantage through it. There's 3 seconds left. There's no more healing here. This is what maybe Leaf Bender was hoping for, to last until the end. A nice big eviscerate, or that, I think it was eviscerate that he landed on him. Tries to get that big bull's charge, doesn't land. He's just out of distance. And Leaf Bender just playing keep away once again. But as I mentioned, he doesn't have any heals available to him. He ends up going down, and that's Deuce that takes it. We'll take a look at that replay, guys. That's Deuce who takes it in game 2. Very good job. Oh, Leaf Storm, I gotta send you your 5 gold, sir. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it, sir. Our next match coming up is Louis PTM versus Shiro. Ooh, Louis PTM versus Shiro. Both of them are veterans in our tournaments here, and I believe we have Louis PTM. Yeah, he's in our bracket. Let's take a look at him. He's part of our roster. I believe he's number. He's 5 in our 1v1 tournament so far, so we expect great things from him. He's got 8 games played, 5 wins and 3 losses. Let's see if he can add to that today. He's actually running on Weaver today. He runs guard and Weaver, Fire Weaver, I believe. Let's take a quick look at that, guys. Sword Focus and Blade Trail Balthazar with Sage Amulet, and Zoro. This is his infamous Deadeye. Very, very, very deadly, especially when it comes to this map. There's a lot of hallways that he can use to his advantage. He's very kitey. He can be very annoying, almost getting into the mind of the opponent, just poking in and out of melee and long range, forcing them into positions they don't want to be in. So I'm very excited to see how this one goes. They're both really, really, really strong. And I believe Shiro, is he on our top roster? No, yeah, he is. He's actually in 6th place. So these two guys might be trading positions after this fight, considering Louis PTM is in 5th and Shiro is in 6th place. Very interesting to see this. Let me just take a quick look at that. Ah, yes. Louis PTM has the same amount of wins as Shiro, but one less loss than Shiro. So that is the major difference, or the major factor in this one. But this is going to be deciding for 5th or 6th place right here. Whoever loses, if Zoro wins, he could be taking, or he will be taking 5th place from Fancy Priest. If Fancy wins, he could be solidifying. Nice big damage coming out from Zoro, staying on that no port. The Weaver's got his work cut out for him. He's just got to be able to get really, really close and dump a lot of that Condi. That'll keep a lot of that burning damage onto him as much as he can. Fancy doing everything he can to try to mitigate damage, forcing him in to get close. He doesn't want to be caught in this hallway, and that's what I was mentioning. This long hallway on this map really favors Zoro. He's a veteran of these tournaments. He knows how to use it very, very well. He's going to be one to watch. Big damage on Fancy over here. He's just trying to do everything he can to mitigate. He's not even able to put pressure down at the moment. Now it's going to be strategy over here. How does he bait him in? And when he does bait him in, how does he get him to... Big damage. I think that was a Twist of Fate that he was using. One of his Twist of Fates. He drops the Swirling Winds just to try to mitigate any of that projectile hate. He's trying to get some pressure on him. Now, if I was Fancy, this is not the best place to be in, but like I said, he's a veteran here, and under pressure, he does work well. Melee, good melee damage coming out from Zoro. He might be waiting till the map mechanic. I am not entirely sure. It looks like this might be the tactic that he's using. He doesn't seem too concerned. He's not acting too aggressive either. There's his second Twist of Fate move used, but as you can see, he used the Twist of Fate with the second one about to proc up on him. So he always has one to his availability. Yeah, definitely looks like he's going to be waiting for this map mechanic. Oh, but that might be the end of him over there. He got a little complacent. Big damage coming out from Zoro. Now Zoro's coming in for the kill. He's trying to drop a lot of Condi onto him. Fancy's getting really low. He ends up going down. Very, very interesting. I'm very curious to see what kind of tactic he takes in the second round. Zoro just kind of sitting over there and pot-shotting on pot-shotting and pot-shotting. And keep in mind, gentlemen, that as I mentioned, there is... maybe I didn't mention it too much, but after the map mechanic, there's also no stealth that's available. There is one trait inside the Deadeye trait line that you can take to stealth after the map mechanic, but there is no stealth and there is no mist when you're in an elemental downstate because it's considered healing. So no stealth and no mist, as well as no healing in general whatsoever. So here we go into game 2, Louis PTM versus Zoro. Louis is going to be coming back in his Weaver. As I mentioned, he has no choice. You have to stick with your 3 spec lines. He's like, for Zoro, for instance, Trickery, Shadow Arts, and Deadeye, he's got to keep these 3 trait lines. He can change all these traits. He can change all his weapons, his runes, his amulets, his sigils, all that stuff he can change. But he's got to keep everything else. I don't know where Louis PTM is. Oh. Let me see if he's coming back in. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this type of stuff, just click that follow or click that subscribe. Oh, he was just on the phone, guys. He's back in. Balthazar with Sage Amulet, Sword Focus. I'm just going to wait for them to ready up. And if you look down below, guys, you'll actually see my schedule. And one of the things I like on my schedule the most is my Viewers' Choice event. Every Saturday we do something that the viewers want to see, or if they ask me while I'm in game, I'll be like, oh, you know, that's a good idea, let's try it. And last week was actually Deuce who told us to do this Princess Doll Death Race. It actually ended up being really, 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 really fun. I put it in my highlights video, so if you guys want to take a look at that. Anything I deem worthy of watching is in my highlights video. Anything else after that is at your own risk to watch, so beware. Here we go with Zoro. Moving in quickly, trying to get the high ground right onto Fancy. And Fancy this time not going for that long hallway. He's opting for this kind of like this ledge over here in the corner of the stairs. Big damage again. He tries to drop that AoE to force Zoro off. Stealth again. He's got to be careful here. There's that big damage again from Fancy. He's in trouble. He's trying to close the gap again. This is going to be really tough. Zoro has made Deadeye for a very long time. He's very fluid with the mechanics. Goes right into melee range. Noticing he's stuck over there. Nice damage coming out from Fancy. They're both sitting at a kind of half health. Zoro really quickly on the escape, goes into stealth, trying to get that big pot damage again on him. Fancy's in a little bit of trouble. He's able to break stun, drops that big fire, that Dragon's Tooth, I believe it's called. Doesn't look good for Fancy. Zoro's got the high ground. He ends up getting the win. And that's Zoro that moves forward. He's going to be one to watch. He's probably going to be definitely in oh, I want to send you some mail, sir. Thank you, Louis PTM, for joining, sir. He's one of these staples. This might seem like Zoro just took Louis PTM's 5th place spot in the season so far, taking 5th place. Our next match coming up, guys, is going to be Dabs versus Black Rose Spot. Dabs versus Black Rose Spot. This is our last match in our second round. Then we're going to be moving into the quarterfinals. Dabs versus Black Rose Spot. I'm just letting them know that they have to enter, guys, because some people are not inside the map chat, inside the Twitch. Black Rose is another new contestant. I think we've had, seriously, 5 or 6 new guys in this tournament. I'm super ecstatic about that. I think we had over 23 people who signed up, 18 who actually came to the roster check, so really, really good turnout for this one. I'm going to give this guy another minute. Oh, I think there was a Meatwad who wanted to, I don't know if he's still here. I'm going to give him 1 minute to enter. Then Dab gets by. Yeah, we're going to let him get the bye. I'm going to give him a minute. I don't want to kick it out right away. I'm going to let him know one more time. We're going to be looking for a Black Rose. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you so much for that. Oh, they subscribed for 3 months. Woo, woo. Currently on a 3-month streak. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Zoro. Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. Thank you so much for that sub, buddy. Woot, woot. Okay, guys, we're going to be giving Venus the bye. Venus gets by. Our next match after this is going to be... Oh, Bountiful versus Lights. I forgot about that. Next match. Bountiful versus Lights. After this, we should know that everybody that I've roster checked should be here because they've all done a match. And usually when they do a match, they tend to stick around till the end. So here's Uzwat Cup. I'm not sure where Lights is. If he's not here, we're going to give him the Lights. One minute to enter, then Bounty gets by. Oh, there's Hananu. I believe that's Lights. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, that is Lights. Perfect. Core Ranger. Very, very nice. I love seeing Core Rangers in these matches. Let's take a look at Hananu. He's running Marksmanship, Wilderness, and Beast Mastery. He's got Longbow with Greatsword, very, very dangerous. Demolisher, Amulet with Rune of the Fighter. He's also got Marksmanship, Wilderness, and Beast Mastery. And he used Wag Cup. This is a veteran of my tournaments. He used to frequent them very, very, very often. And then he just kind of faded away into the background, stopped doing them. I found some other stuff to do in World v World or in the PvE land. But I'm very, very happy to see him come back. This is his first game back in at least a month and a half. Very excited to see how he performs in this one. So use Whack Cup. Let's take a quick look. Domination, Dueling, and Chaos. He's running Berserker with Rune of the Scholar. Ooh, I hope him and Schwartz end up fighting somewhere down the line in the quarterfinals or something of that nature. But Hanu is going to put up a big fight. He said, if you want to get to Schwartz, you're going to have to get through me first. And Hanu is really, I don't think I've seen the Hanu before in my tournaments. But use Whack Cup. Oof. Ooh, big, big damage coming out from both sides. They're both in the red zone over here. It could be anybody's game. He ends up getting the down over here. Nice barrage coming out from Hananu. Whack Cup. Ooh, he's been out of the game for a while. And when he comes back, all these young pups, they've grown up a bit, man. Their fangs have started to come in. They got a little bit of a bite now. They've been practicing used. Nah, I knew. And I like this is why one of the main reasons I like watching Rangers are just very, very exciting to watch. They can go in for that melee, do a lot of damage, mitigate a lot of it at the same time, be very, very kitey and annoying. So you gotta always be on your toes, whether you're within close range or you're in long range. They have so much potential to burst and just change the tide of a fight so quickly. Here we go, game two. A lot of pressure now on to use Whack Cup. If he loses this, he's out. And what is this going to say about his monumentous return to the tournament scene? Maybe this will make him recluse and he'll go back into hiding. Who knows? Or maybe he'll have that savage revenge. Tries to get that big greatsword 3 down, but Hanu just really quick on his feet or on her feet. Dropping that barrage on to use Whack Cup, and on a regular opponent that wouldn't be too bad, but the barrage on a Berserker does a lot of damage. He's just trying to get away. He's in the big danger zone. He finally manages to get into stealth just in the nick of time before Hanu got that scent of blood was all over his heels, not giving him any quarter over here. Tries to get that push back. He evades through it and just forces him back. That's Hanu that takes that match. Really impressive job by Hanu on this one, or Lights, excuse me. Well, that is Hanu. My bad. Bountiful, you get your 5 gold for entering, sir. Thank you so much. I believe that was game 2. Yeah, it seems like game 2. Yeah. Game 2. Now we're going to be moving into the second round. Well, the technical second round. Technically, it's supposed to be the second round. So now it's Lights versus... no, we're going to go to Pizik versus Shorts. Pizik versus Shorts. Here, guys, and I'll post the brackets for you guys one more time in the Twitch chat so you can see exactly who's coming up, who's fought already, and who's going to be fighting in the future. So Harrowing Folly, this is Pizak, I believe. He's another new contender. This is he's running the rig. Ooh, wow, he's going Grieving with the Rune of the Warrior, Great Sword, Sword with Torch now, and he's running Radiance, Valor, and Virtues. Very, very interesting. He's Master of Core Guardian. He's actually played, this is his second style of Core Guard that he's played in this tournament. And Pink Shorts here, this is going to be his ultimate test. And as I mentioned, Harrowing Folly is brand new. Never seen him before. He did pass his first test. Now this is his second one. Big Pink Shorts over here. He's mitigating a lot of that damage. Good counter pressure. Pink Shorts getting some good burst down onto Harrowing. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. He gets a good Moa, but very, very smartly, Hanu immediately running for the spawn area, trying to get into the LOS, going into the renewed focus to try to mitigate damage and close the distance. Tries to go for that Binding Blade. Doesn't connect on him. Trying to get that torch damage onto him now, but he's in big trouble in the hotspot. He finally gets his Litany of Wrath over here. Pink Shorts really keeping up the pressure, mitigating a lot of damage. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. He has used all of his mantras. He has used his elite as well, but his signative might has come back up. He does have his blink. He can close the gap. He's gone into stealth now. Really good exchange coming out of both of them. We're halfway through this round already. Really good job from Harrowing Folly, especially as the unsung hero or the nomad coming in out of nowhere. Nice damage coming out from Pink Shorts here. He's starting to re-sustain on his big burst. Tries to get that knockback or that pushback, but doesn't manage to land it. Harrowing's in a little bit of a sticky situation. He finally closes the gap. As you can see, Pink Shorts was using that no port, and finally when he came down, Harrowing was able to close it. Tries to get that big greatsword leap and the big damage from the Whirling Wrath, but he's not able to get it. Dodges off into a very dangerous spot over here, giving Pink Shorts the advantage, and he ends up taking that big win. Really good job coming out of Harrowing Folly. As I mentioned, Pink Shorts is very, very, very strong. He also streams, guys. I highly recommend you take a look at his stream, Shorts Gaming. Very, very knowledgeable, gives out good information, and super, super nice. Good job, Harrowing, by the way. As I mentioned, he is quite the order to... or the task to fulfill or to beat. So you did a pretty good job, but it's not over yet. Here's your second chance to be able to redeem yourself. And like I said, placement is very, very, very important in these tournaments, especially on this map. Using terrain will give you the upper hand in these tournaments. If you're able to exploit it very, very well, you will most likely win your matches. Well, as long as you can exploit it better than your opponent can. That's the thing. As you can see, Shorts did very good in positioning, forcing him up into the open, so there was nothing to really stop him from his big damage coming out, not forcing his clones to go in any longer directions or having to run around circles. The Harrowing Folly, let's see if he's made any changes to his build. He did make some serious changes before, and I believe he's gone back to more of a traditional core guard. He has gone to more of a traditional core guard. As you can see, he's changed over the focus. So I think he was running Torch before. He's changed over for the Torch. He's got one Lynx and Marauder. And this may catch Shorts by surprise. I'm not entirely sure. He is still running Berserker. He's just got to try to get Shorts to go through a lot of his evades and a lot of his distortions to try to pick up on him or to try to catch him. He's hiding in the back, and that's pretty a good move for Harrowing over here, considering he tries to open on him really, really quickly, and he actually ends up getting the better of the exchange over here. And I think changing over to Core Guard did get Shorts by surprise. He was not expecting that. Good exchange from Harrowing, good pressure by Harrowing over here. And this is where you want to constantly keep the pressure, especially on a Mesmer. You do not want him to kind of re-sustain. If he re-sustains, he can easily just turn the tide of the fight, chunking you for big damage. And this is making him pay over here. Good blink, good knockback by Shorts, good engage, but he's able to mitigate most of that damage, getting the down. Good job by Harrowing, going into a Game 3 series in this one, guys. I think this is our third or fourth Game 3 series in this 1v1 tournament so far. Really, really good stuff. Harrowing adjusting very well. And now it's Pink Shorts' turn to adjust to this. This is why I like best of 3 series. It's because usually when you do one match, you're like, oh fuck, I didn't know he was Condi, or I didn't know he was this. So this way you get to feel out your opponent, adjust to them. And now if you lose, now it's kind of like the double adjustment. Your opponent adjusted to you, now you got to adjust again to your opponent. And let's see who takes this one. This is why I really love Game 3s. And these are both really good competitors. Like I said, I've never seen Harrowing, but to be able to get a game down onto Pink Shorts it's not an easy task. So this is going to be good. Pressure is on both of them. None of them have the advantage. Now it's 1-1. The next person moves forward into the next one. This is our quarterfinals of our 1v1 tournament. So everybody at this point gets 10 gold despite winning or losing. Well, whoever loses gets 10 gold. The one who moves forward gets another 5 gold added on to their initial 10. So it's 5 gold every tier you move up from the quarterfinals. Here we go. Now, Pink Shorts having a lot more respect for Harrowing over here. As you can see, last 2 games, he was kind of just coming right up, putting up the pressure, using his master, or he had mastered his last time. He's actually switched over for the Jaunt. Let's take a look if he's still on Berserk. He's gone for Marauder, understanding that he was a little squishier. He didn't want to get caught. And now he's being, this is exactly as I mentioned. It's a 1-1 series. They can't get complacent. There's a lot of pressure on both of them now. And Harrowing, let's see what he's doing. And he's not minding being patient, slowly moving forward. And not only moving, probably not even moving forward, trying to see where his opponent is. And now he can kind of gauge the range. He knows he can't hit him from here. And in this spot, Harrowing does have the advantage. Because here, let me just show you. When this map mechanic, when this 1 minute and 10 seconds runs out, the AoE will come from here. So it's going to spawn from here, forcing Pink Shorts out. It's also going to come from here, and it's also going to come from here. So if you're trying to hide in those areas, after the map mechanic, it's just going to push you out. And it'll eventually consume the entire map mechanic. Now they're getting a little closer here. Nice port coming out from Harrowing, trying to get onto him. And Pink Shorts is a little close to the edge. Good exchange over here. He did try to get him in the Ray of Judgment. Harrowing over there is kind of stuck. He's sitting on the no port. Pink Shorts is trying to bait him into that big, long corridor. And that's kind of going to be a dangerous area for Folly, because if he does get caught with no cooldowns, he has no way of getting out. And for Core Guard, nice goes in. Good push. Good port from up to Pink Shorts over here. Harrowing Folly recovers really well. Now he does have his renewed focus, and he's just kind of sitting back here. This is a perfect situation for Harrowing. He kind of just wants to wait for his cooldowns, uses that big Judge's Intervention to come right back in and close the gap, tries to get that Sword 2 and the Zealots to no avail. Harrowing's in big trouble. He ends up using his renewed focus. There is 4 seconds left. There's no more healing at this point. He's got to close that gap. He does have the Shield of Wrath. He does use it. He goes over Shield of Whirling Wrath, used up onto Shorts. He's not getting the down. Very good exchange coming out from both of them. Harrowing's trying to get away, but he's not going to be able to make it. Shorts gets that last little touch on him. Really, really good stuff. Really, really good fight. Thank you so much, Harrowing, for coming. That was very impressive play, my friend, especially considering the talent that you're fighting against. Really do appreciate you coming, and I hope we do see you again. That was Pizak. That's his account name, Pizak. Really good job, Pizak. 2-1 series. Now it's going to be Kodo versus Deuce, guys. We have a Kodo versus Deuce. Let's take a quick look at these brackets really quick so we can see who we've already faced. Here you can see this is our first round of our, technically this is our first round, but it's just to make the quarterfinals and semifinals even numbers. The challenge creates it like this. So we've had over 18 participants in this 1v1, really good turnout, and we're just in the second match of our quarterfinals. So these matches are bound to be good. We got Char Miracle over here running that Zerker Warrior with the Rune of the Fighter, doing really good discipline, strength, and tactics. We got Kodo over here running that classic Devastation, Invocation, and Herald Sword Staff with Rune of the Strength, actually, and Marauder on that Revenant. This is going to be a nice test for Deuce and his build. Kodo is one of the premier Revenants that we have in these tournaments. He's actually number 3 in the bracket right here. If Deuce does get this win, he could potentially stagger his climb to the top and create a spot for himself, Deuce, on the roster, for the 12-man roster right now for the finals. Good damage coming out from Deuce, and he's been using this tactic quite well, using that Rampage right away. As you can see, he's already used a lot of his damage mitigators. His staff has been used. Going into his Sword 3, he doesn't have much left after this, and Deuce counting it really well, getting him in that huge Whirling Wind and the Trailblaze, going right back in for the rush. Kodo's in big trouble here. He does have 5 seconds just before his heal, so he has to be very clever with this. Oh, just out of time. Deuce is able to close the gap, get that big AoE. I think it was the Arcing Slice he was able to pull off on him. That was almost clutch coming from Kodo. If he was able to get that Glint heal off, he could have just easily turned around and put up the counter pressure onto him. But that was really tough. Really tough match. This is the quarterfinals, so I'm expecting all of these matches to be really good. A lot of these competitors in here that we have are veterans to these tourneys at least, and some of them are veterans to the game. I know Deuce and Kodo both have played this for quite some time. So we're seeing some top tier stuff, as you can tell. Here we go into game 2. The pressure is on to Kodo here, but Deuce cannot get complacent. He's got to stay on top of Kodo. He's got to keep him honest. He can't just let him do whatever he wants. He did a really good job of forcing everything with that Rampage. Now Kodo knows this is the best thing. He's kind of seen his gameplay and seen his strategy. Let's see if Deuce goes for the Rampage once again, or he's going to try to bait him a little bit. There's that Staff 5. Big damage from that Whirlwind. He kind of waited for that Staff 5. I think he used his heal right there. That was, nope, not yet. There's the Rampage from Deuce. And now you see Kodo, he's waiting. He gets some good pressure onto Deuce. He got stuck on that bottom area. Good job on the Glint. Good job by a nice Glint Elite onto the Warrior. Tries to get him in the Whirlwind. The Revenant is trying to keep the pressure up onto him. Really good job on Kodo for this one. He's in a much better position than he was in the last match. Char Miracle gets that big heal. Is he using Mending? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mending. 12-second cooldown, removes 2 Condis, removes 3 Condis, and gives you 10% increased damage and a 7k heal. Deuce is in trouble, but here comes that Mending one more time. The burst damage is just too much with that Sword 3, I believe, and really gets him down. This is another game 3, guys. Here we go. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Some high action, good energy games. Really nice stuff. And as I mentioned, we started our 2v2 and 1v1 season. So every game that we do from here on out till the end of the season of Guild Wars 2, our ranked season, all these games count. Every single match counts. It's all going to be added into the roster. So the top 12 of this 1v1 season will end up going into the playoffs, vying for a very large prize pool. And at the same time, every single tournament you get gold no matter what. As I mentioned, it's like the AT reward system. So it's 5 gold right away for entering no matter what, even if you lose, and then 5 gold added on every time after the quarterfinals. So here we go, Kodo versus Char Miracle. This is game 3. Pressure is on, man. They're both got those sweaty palms. They don't want to lose. The crowd is watching. They're cheering. They both got their favorites. Here he goes with the quick rampage, and this is really nice. This is what you wanted to see, and it was clever on Deuce's part as well. He didn't use the rampage right away in the other match, knowing he has an extra match just in case. He didn't want to be too obvious and be too telegraphic with what he's doing. As you can see, it's paying off right now. He gets the mending, tries to get a Glen Elite and the AoE, but good field block. And, oh, nice big heel clutch from Kodo. He's able to mitigate a bit. Nice dodge coming out from Deuce, just getting away from that sword 3. Staff 5 coming out, gets it with that huge Eviscerate, keeping the pressure up onto Kodo. Let's take a look at his cooldowns over here. He drops the AoE once again. They're creating a little bit of distance. He's got 15 seconds at least. Tries to get him in that Bull's Charge, doesn't connect, goes in a little bit of trouble, tries to get the Whirlwind. Sword 3 staying on top of him. Really good exchange coming out of both of them over here. Staff 5 again. Deuce goes for the shield. Now Kodo's going to have his heal coming up very, very, very soon over here. I'm sure of it. Deuce has got to be, he can't get complacent. He's got to know that the heal is on. He's got to try to bait him into it. Keep the pressure onto him. Know that the heal is coming. And right around here is where he's probably going to use it. Nice Eviscerate. Wow, that was huge. Good exchange coming out from both of them. Let's see that replay one more time. Gadzooks, guys. Holy moly. And Kodo was just about to use that heal, literally a fraction of a second away from using that heal and being able to use that big damage as a benefit to him. But good job on both of them. Kodo, where are you, sir? Whisper me in game if you can, Kodo. I don't know if you're, oh, sorry about that. I don't know if you're in the Twitch, but whisper me in game. I have to send you your 10 gold, sir. Thank you so much. Next up is Ishiro versus Dabs. Next up is Ishiro versus Dabs. Oh, nice. And as well, guys, what I like to do is if you're in the Twitch chat and if I call you in for your match and you enter into the match before I write it into the map chat, I end up actually giving you an extra gold on your game. Kodo 1824. Kodo, I'm going to send you your gold, sir. Compose. I think Deuce is onto something with this build here. He's running Berserker on that bad boy, and he sustains like a madman, especially against someone like Kodo. Oh, sorry, guys. Venus is running Scrapper over here. He's running with Hammer, Strength, and Marauder. He's got Alchemy, Inventions, and Scrapper. Sorrow over here. It's going to be dangerous, but if anything can handle it, it's the Scrapper. He's got a lot of barrier. He's got a lot of protection, and he's got a lot of anti-projectile, but Sorrow making quick work over here. Venus has got to get the pressure. He does get that big hammer 5 on top of him. Sorrow quickly making taking no time to get out of it. He's in a little bit of a sticky situation way up in the open. He tries to get that reflect up from the hammer. Good job by Sorrow just picking him apart over there. Dabs now getting a good feel of his opponent. And one of the tactics I see a lot used on Deadeyes, especially people like Clown, is people will just camp inside their spawn point, knowing that it's a small confined area. You don't have to chase, and the Deadeye doesn't have too much room to kind of kite around. And if you drop a big AoE, you know more than likely it's going to be able to hit him. Especially if you drop it in a choke point, he's going to have to go in or out. So you can pressure the area that's not AoE'd and force him into the choke. But these are tactics that I see a lot of the times used by people against Deadeyes, especially high-level Deadeyes. They can be aggravating sometimes. But I don't usually ban anything. The only thing I really ban is Conjure Mirage. I thought about banning Rampage once or twice, as you can see the dominance of it. But if you can plan for it and mitigate it, it's only a 10-second activation. So if you're clever on terrain use, you can really mitigate it very well. But I do agree it's overpowered. And it's going to be nerfed, so we're not too true. Any subs needed? Dark Souls, if there is a sub needed, I'll let you know. But we are into the quarterfinals. There's only 2. This is our second to last match in the quarterfinals. This is a game 3. This is going to be a really good one here. Venus Raspberry versus Venus getting caught again. Big damage. He puts up the projectile hate, trying to create a little bit of distance, but this is exactly where Sorrow, he actually ends up getting him in the jump shot. This hallway is where Sorrow wants his opponents to be. It's like feed for him. Drops that big 5 on him. What is that called? It's called the Thunderclap, yeah. I think Thunderclap's also in WoW as well. But I'll definitely keep you in mind, Dark Souls, if there's subs needed. And I always appreciate subs, guys. If there's anybody that doesn't show, I can always use them. And usually I don't like using them in the quarterfinals or in the semifinals because other people who have worked hard to get there kind of feel cheated out when someone just shows up. But it depends on the opponent. If the opponent agrees, then I'll allow it. Dabs over here trying to keep the pressure, getting him in a big shockwave, but that's Soro who ends up taking it. Good job by Soro, and this is Dabs. I'm actually going to send Dabs 11 gold because, as I mentioned, when I call out your name to go into enter a match, I usually call it out before I write it in map chat. So if you enter when I call it out, I know you're in Twitch, so I give you an extra gold. So we're going to be going into our next match. This is our final match in our quarterfinals. That was Shiro taking that into game 2. This is going to be propelling Shiro into the 1v1 series, that's for sure. It's going to be Lights versus Zebra for this one, guys. Lights versus Zebra. I think this is Zebra on this side, and these are both brand new to my tournaments. What am I lagging here? Zebra, yeah, Zeb is Zeb Keating and Hanu. Both did really well. They both have fought to get here, and I can't say it enough, guys. I love getting brand new people into my tournaments. Hanu is running that Core Ranger, Longbow, Greatsword, Fighter with Demolisher, Beast Mastery, Wilderness, and Marksmanship. We got Zeb Keating over here, Deadly Arts with Trickery and Daredevil. He's running Staff with Shortbow, Rune of the Eagle, and Marauder. This is going to be a really, really good match. We just gotta wait a minute, let them know, ready up to start. And this is why we have the ready button, so it allows those people to be able to adjust their builds any way they need to. And as I mentioned, you cannot change your 3 specs, but you can change your traits, and you cannot change the class you start with. Other than that, you can change runes, weapons, sigils, amulets, utilities, traits, your traits in your spec lines, but not your spec lines. I have no idea what to expect. They both did good. I haven't seen them before, so this is like a treat to me. And congratulations, both of you, Zeb Keating and Hanu, getting into the quarterfinals. Let's see which one of you. Unfortunately, one of you is going to be eliminated. But I'm very curious to see who makes it to the semifinals and who you fight. Nice barrage coming out from. He actually has his Thieves Guild coming out. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen Thieves Guild in any of my tournaments ever, I don't think. Nice damage coming out over here. I think he got Hanu. No, how did Hanu survive that? That was miraculous. Nice healing coming out. I'm not sure what I was looking at. It was his pet probably that I saw go down. He ended up focusing on him. Good job, Zeb Keating over here, pulling out a really unorthodox build, getting that big healing tree up. Hanu going into stealth, trying to get that big burst. Here comes in with the Greatsword, tries to get that maul, not able to do it. Good mitigation from Keating. Hold on, guys. Zeb Keating over here, really good job. This is really interesting match. Sorry, guys, I got slightly distracted. Nice barrage, nice pushback from Hanu over here, really catching him. He tries to port back a Shadow Step, I think, and Zeb Keating getting that one. And as I mentioned, guys, there's a lot of streamers that we have over here. If you take a look here, these are the streamers that I highly would recommend that you take a look at. There are some people that I have to add in there, like Jebro, and also White Shorts or Shorts Gaming. He just started streaming recently. Again, he came back from a hiatus. Really good streamer. Gives out a lot of good knowledge, guys. You should definitely check him out. Him and Naru as well. Grimjack. All these guys are the top tier guys. Are super and a lot nicer than you think. As long as you're not a douchebag and you act nice and you ask proper questions, you know what I mean. They'll give you all the information you need and all the feedback. And they stream almost every single day. And it's a really good way to see the thought process of a really like a high level player and how they think when they're traveling through the map. So here we go, Zeb Keating over here, Hanu. They both have a good idea of what they're fighting against now. I don't think there was any major changes. There he goes again for that really unique and special. Oh, he gets with that big ball. He's in trouble. The double maul proc, and he ends up getting it on Zeb. Hanu really taking it away. That could have gone either way, in my opinion. But that's Zeb Heating who gets the 10 gold for participating. Thank you so much, Zeb Heating. I really do appreciate you coming in here, guys. And that's Lights, I believe. Zeb, yeah, Lights that takes it. Moving into the semifinals. La creme de la creme here, guys. Now, Sword Deuce?
My game crashed. I'm coming back in.
Okay, no problem. I'm probably going to do lights versus shorts then. Hey, what happened to my music? So now we're going to have lights versus shorts over here, guys. Over here. Sounds like a honky. I think shorts may have DC'd. And same with Deuce. So we're going to give him a minute or two, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to take this time to show you then while I have you here. We have started, I've just been talking about this throughout the entire time. Okay, shorts is back. We have a 1v1 and a 2v2 tournament and a season. So this is the website for it. You can see the roster here, and we just had a big change over here. Louis PTM versus Shiro. They actually swapped sides over here, so I think Shiro actually ended up taking his spot. But if you can take a look, you click on stats, you'll see their stats, their class, what his name is, his handle, how many games he's played, wins, losses, a little bit about himself, his win rate. We have a bunch of that stuff on this website. It's just something to give you a little more clout and something to kind of show people. And to try to make it a little more professional, you know, instead of having it on a piece of paper. So here we go. This is going to be a really good match. I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Shorts versus Hanu. Hanu did a really good job in his last match. These guys are both really bursty. Pink Shorts has a little bit more of that instant mobility, but Hanu still has a lot of mobility, but you can track it a little easier. Nice combo coming out from both of them. Pink Shorts getting the better of the exchange over here, really keeping the pressure up onto him. Now this is where Hanu, let's see what he's got in the counter exchange. He did really mitigate and resustain quite well over here, sitting back full health. He does still have his Signet of Stone, that's really impressive, and he hasn't used the strength of the pack, and this is exactly it. He's trying to withstand or maintain or mitigate that big burst, and then when he's ready, come in with his own. He was being very patient, and now he's got his full cooldowns back up. Pink Shorts used everything he had. He kind of nice barrage coming out, nice knockback. Going into Greatsword, big block coming out of him, trying to get that whirling defense up. I believe that was whirling defense, I'm not entirely sure. Big stun coming out from him. Hanu is in big trouble. Nice combo coming out from Pink Shorts, baiting him to using a lot of his cooldowns, forcing him to come in. This is going to be a good exchange right here, I can bet you that. Shorts is in a little bit of trouble. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. He's waiting for a couple more of his signets to come back up off cooldown. He does have his blink and one of his jaunts. Hanu now coming right back. We got 30 seconds left of this map mechanic. We haven't gone into many game threes or into many of the map mechanics, but I think this one is going to be going to that one, guys. Nice exchange coming out from both of them. Hanu's in a little bit of trouble. He's in the immob. He does get the stealth off, dropping that big barrage down. And that barrage also adds the cripple. That's really, really important, especially for Hanu. Trying to keep that gap closed onto Pink Shorts while he's in that Greatsword. Nice gap, creates that big distance. Oh my god. I'm trying to watch them both at the same time and watch their cooldowns as well as the timer. We're already 10 seconds deep into it. He does have the barrage, forcing forcing Pink Shorts to come forward. No, Hannibal's really low, ends up oh, that was an epic match over there. Pink Shorts ends up taking it. Ooh, Lord. He actually ends up going down. He does have the pet, but there's no more healing, guys. But the AoE is a little closer for Hanu than it is for and Pink Shorts ends up taking it. And Deuce, was that game 2 or game 1? For oh. Sorry about that, slight delay. Alright, let's get back into this action. This is going to be a really good match. Now Hanu has a little bit of a better taste of what he's fighting. And that's another thing, and he's new to this, so the map mechanic is something that he's got to get adjusted to. The veterans know about the map mechanic. They prep 10, 15 seconds before it comes. They try to get all their heals up, not waste too many cooldowns. But when you've never seen it before, that map mechanic comes, and you're not ready for it. You're like, fuck, I had my heal up. It's sorry, man, map mechanic. No heal for you, bro. So here he goes. We're dropping the barrage down onto Pink Shorts. Nice push. Just trying to get any... forcing him to use a lot of his big damage. Now he tries to get that maul. Tries to get the maul again. Nice job by Hanu over here. Trying to force Pink Shorts into his big combos. Mitigating them very well. Trying to counter with those big mauls. But good job by Pink Shorts at the same time. Being very attentive and watching those animations. And maul is pretty hard to catch. Especially if you don't have quickness. Yeah, like I said, the animation is very obvious. Pink Shorts trying to get that big damage. Good dodge from Hanu on this one. Tried to get them all again. Good port by Pink Shorts on this one. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. Trying to get that damage on him. Pink Shorts is a little bit on the run. He's got no cooldowns. Hanu at full health over here. He does have a lot to his availability. He does have his quickening Zephyr to get out and the Signet of Stone, both defensive. Pink Shorts in a little bit of trouble. He got that big stealth. He's just auto-attacking. Shorts trying to use that little LOS to his advantage, and that when you're a top tier player, just that little LOS can be the difference between life and death. If he can resustain and get some big burst over here, he does have his heal, but it doesn't stop from big burst. It's very slow. Unfortunate push, but for some reason, Hanu ends up not falling, dropping the big barrage. This is dangerous. Really good match. Another doozy. Both forcing in. He's trying to auto-attack and jump at the same time to try to get over that LOS. Nice greatsword block. Tries to get that maul. He doesn't manage to get it. This is going to be a dangerous big clash between the two of them. And I like these type of matches where they clash together really bad and then they just kind of separate, get their breather, watch their cooldown, see what they have available to them, and then get ready for the clash again. Even if they're not ready, they see their other opponent coming in and they're like, okay, here we go, back into the battle. Nice medic, nice to re-S. Ooh, Pink Shorts ends up going down. Good job by Hanu, just resustaining on his health. Doing a really good job. He obviously has the better sustain, but at the same time, Shorts doing a really good job of mitigating a lot of the mauls, staying a lot away from a lot of that big damage coming out from Hanu. This is going to a game 3, guys. Really, really, really nice stuff. Whoo-wee. Game 3, if this is, it's first game in our semifinals, and it's already going to a game 3. I could not be happier with this. Pink Shorts again, and he's actually gone for Marauder once again, going for that a little more sustainability, trying to get that extra vitality so he doesn't get burst down too hard if he gets hit by like some big 6-7k maul. Got Domination, Dueling, and Mirage still sitting the same. I wonder if he's using Annulment or anything like that on his weapons. No Annulment over here. Cleansing and Energy and Agility on his Greatsword. Very, very nice pairing. Longbow, Greatsword, still the same, and he's actually going to Demolisher. I believe he was like that for the entire time. His agility on the Longbow. Very wise. This is probably... Oh, and he's actually going for Sigil of Revocation. Unhit, remove a boon. I guess he's trying to go for that stab removal. Nice barrage dropping down. Tries to get that big greatsword. Tries to get the maul as well. He does connect on one of those, getting the better of the exchange between the two so far. Tries to go in for another big maul. That was a good, I think that was a distortion coming out from Pink Shorts on that one. Really, really, really clutch distortion. But at the same time, Hanu was able to get him to force one of his major utility skills. It could give him a slight advantage as this goes on a little farther. Pink Shorts is really low. Hanu trying to take advantage of it, but he can't close the gap on him. Tries to put up the barrage, countering with some big DPS. Pink Shorts is in big trouble. He's auto-attacking from the top. He goes into stealth, tries the maul, but he gets a little overexcited over here. Pink Shorts resustaining quite well, counter-pressuring a little bit. Hanu at about 3/4 health. Pink Shorts surviving on a thread, tries to get that maul. Beautiful port. Hanu's in big trouble. He gets that big push and the big barrage. Nice from the sword over here, mitigating all that damage. Hanu trying to stay on top of him, but at the same time, he's got to be careful. He gets the down on Shorts. Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. That's 15 gold to Shorts. Thank you so much for joining the unsung hero. Where did this gladiator come from? Hanunu. This is Lights. I don't think I've ever seen him in any of my tournaments, and this is another reason why I love seeing new guys in my tournaments. You never know when you're going to find this diamond in the rough. So let's take a look at our brackets here really quick, guys. That was actually Lights that took out White Shorts. Good on you there. White Shorts is a very, very strong competitor and very knowledgeable as well. As I mentioned, guys, you should definitely check him out. Shorts Gaming on stream. And now we have Deuce versus Shiro. This is our next matchup. Let's go right back into the action. These guys are already rearing to go. They both get an extra gold, or whoever loses gets an extra gold because they were both entering into the arena before I even put it into chat. Really good job by Hananu. This is going to be an interesting fight over here. Deuce does have a lot of that mitigation. He does have the Rampage. Using the Rampage early, making sure that he keeps Zoro honest, not allowing him to really set up, knowing that any moment a rock could come flying at him from a 90-degree angle and smash him in the face. Nice damage over here. He tries to get the Bull's Charge, using those gap closers very, very well and catching Zoro just before he's in stealth, because if Zoro's quick, he can kind of get Deuce to fumble on one of his Bull's Charges if he tries to Bull's Charge and go through that quick stealth. Trying to get that big damage on him, and maybe does he have that shield reflect on his shield? I don't know if he does. No, there's no shield reflect up here. Tries to get the Bull's Charge, does land it, but he's just barely out of range from Zoro. That 100 blades would have been huge. Good exchange over here. Char Miracle trying to keep as many obstructions between him and Zoro as he can. He's got to be careful here. Big damage, nice big CC. Tries to get that Whirling Wind to close the gap a little more. This doesn't look good for Deuce on this one. He does have his shield up. Tries to get the Bull's Charge. Does get the Mending up. Zoro is down over here. Let's take a look at Zoro's cooldowns. He has gone through a lot. He does have a decent amount of initiative. Goes in for that big exchange. See if he's got that Rampage. We got 15 seconds left on this map mechanic. Deuce is fully topped up. He tries to get that shield bash. Doesn't connect on it. Whirlwind to close the gap. Zoro using stealth. Abusing it as much as he can. And this is the tactic that Deadeye uses. You got to expect him to go into stealth. That's the only thing they can do. Pew from far. He does have a lot of melee potential at the same time, though. We got 0 seconds left on this map mechanic. Knowing that Zoro is going to be pushing for this corridor, the AoE is starting to move in. Unfortunately, I don't think he had Zoro targeted on this one. Zoro doing a great job of just kiting and creating that distance, forcing Char Miracle to get close to him. He's very melee heavy. Nice stun coming at him. Nice whirlwind. 4% over here. He gets the big down on him. Wow, that was really, really exciting. And that's the thing with the Warriors. It literally, in a fraction of a second, he can turn the match around. It's like one big stun with a whirlwind and then eviscerate or a arcing slice. You're done. You're done, son. It's over. It's over. It's over. And that's exactly what you just saw there. Zoro got a little complacent, and it only took a second. A second. He's running Berserker Amulet. So this man is doing like, I didn't even see the damage on that, but it was probably like 4K whirling throw axes, or he's doing a lot of damage here. And considering after the map mechanic there's no healing, he can really take full advantage of that. And there's nothing you can really do about it. You're at his whim. So here we go again into game 2. Zoro versus Char Miracle. Char has been coming out with this interesting build here. He's been working on it for a couple days now. I know that, or even maybe a week. I haven't seen him use the Berserker. I've seen him playing with tactics, discipline, and strength, but this seems to be very dominant. He seems to have a lot of sustain. His health doesn't go down, especially considering he's running on Berserker. Goes for that early Rampage. Zoro gets caught out of stealth. He's not able to capitalize on that big stomp. Oh, nice damage coming out from Zoro. Tries to get that Bull's Charge just. Oof. Very unlucky. Very unlucky. I think I'm going to invest in a better microphone, guys. I think that's my next purchase. My next stream purchase item. Yeah. I'm definitely going to do that. Oh, and as well, guys, we have a Discord. I highly recommend and would appreciate if you joined it. This way, if you're not in game, you can also keep up to date with my events that I do. Every single day I do an event. Monday is 1v1, Tuesday is 2v2, Wednesday is 1v1, Thursday Fashion Wars, Friday is 2v2, Saturday Viewer's Choice, Sunday World v World Raid. So every day we do something. And we try to keep it interactive with you guys as well. We're going to be doing a little giveaway at the end of this. It's going to be one of those Quiznos giveaways. So you get a little mini, 2 boosters, and a 10-slot bag. Actually, I'll probably do the giveaway. I'll start the giveaway right after this match, just before the finals. And now, this is a good tactic coming out from Charmiracle. This is what you want to see him do. He's kind of just hiding Zoro, forcing him to come into this area, sitting on the no port. And now he's got Rampage, so he can just drop the AoE wherever he wants. Zoro kind of getting a little bit nervous knowing that he's in that tight area. And it can also make him make mistakes at the same time. In this tight area, you can think you can have a great line of sight, but all of a sudden he makes one little turn or one little whirlwind and he's out of sight. It's a 1-1 series. Whoever takes this moves on to the finals. Really, really dangerous. Anything goes. Nice damage coming out from Zoro. Good placement coming out from Zoro on this one. Charmiracle's in a little bit of trouble here, but he's sticking to his guns, and this is what he should do. He just needs a really, really good placement of damage or a good stun like you saw before. Zoro coming back in. That melee damage is very, very destructive. Gets him in that big CC, but quickly into that stealth, and he's getting very close. It's from the community. The community donates. I'm actually getting a little bit low on funds. This is my last little bit of funds. It's probably going to last me another week or 2 if I'm good. So if anybody feels like donating MC Mystic coins or some skins or some gold, just send it to bloodhound.1674. I'd really appreciate it. As you can see, guys, I don't buy any extra bag slots. I don't buy any character slots. I don't spend my gold on anything. So it's going to a nice, good cause. So if you feel like you should or feel like donating, I would really, really, really appreciate it. It helps keep these going, and that's how I fund these. I'm not an ArenaNet partner. I'm trying to be an ArenaNet partner. It's a slow process. I've only been streaming for about 3 months. Now Deuce goes, you got the map mechanic. Sorry guys, you got the map mechanic about to engage. Deuce uses it. He just too late on that Manding. Zoro's got the high ground. This is super, super dangerous. Red zone for Charmiracle. And that's Deuce that takes it. He got cucked on that one really, really bad. As soon as he came out of Rampage, he ended up getting, he had his mending up with the map mechanic just engaged. So that's Deuce who gets 16 gold. He actually gets 16 gold, as I mentioned, because he entered into the match before I wrote it in the map chat. So if you're in the Twitch and you hear me call your name, you get an extra gold. Now we have our finals, guys. Shiro versus Hanunu. This is going to be tough. This is going to be really, really, really tough. And I think this is going to propel Shiro for sure. I don't know what the bracket is or where he is in the roster, but this is definitely going to bring him into like 3rd place position, somewhere like that. You also get extra points for winning the tournament and extra points for getting into 2nd place. So it's Hanunu versus... This is the creme de la creme. We're at the top here, the mountain, the tippity top, as Dr. Disrespect says. We're at the tippity top. Or maybe we're just halfway there. Who knows? But here we go. Hanu. I really like Hanu. I really like Rangers, Core Rangers especially. I don't know why. I just have some sort of affinity for them. Beast, Wilderness, and Marksmanship. Longbow, Greatsword, Fighter, and Demolisher. Let's take a quick look at Zoro. He's been a pest this entire match. Let's see if there's anyone who can thwart him. He's got Sword with a pistol. He's running Scholar with Marauder Amulet. He's got Trickery, Shadow Arts, and Deadeye. Yeah, I think we're going to do the giveaway after this, guys. It's going to be for one of those... Quiznos. It gives you the little mini. This is the little mini. Let me show you real quick. Where are you, little mini? There he is. That's the little mini. Let me get into the action here. Zoro right again using positioning to his full advantage. Hanunu getting caught on the low ground. And Zoro able to use that no port and plus the obstructions. He can just back up just a little bit and then pump and poke right back out to open up on him. Hanu has been doing really well though. He adjusted really well to shorts. He's putting up some big pressure up onto Zoro. The first one to really make him really contest on him. But he's in a dangerous situation over here. as you can see, big damage coming out onto him. Hanu gets caught in this corridor. This is the corridor of death. If we can just lay all the skeletons down that of the people that Zoro killed in this corridor, this little section here, you wouldn't even be able to see the ground anymore, I tell you. He's a veteran of these tournaments. He's won quite a few of them. He's very proficient on this class. And as time goes on and you see him more and more, he just does better and better and better. Hanu's got his work cut out. We're going to see how he does in this. He has got a good feel for him. He didn't get to play in that too long. So he didn't get the best feel for him, but he was able to get some good pressure. He was able to get some good, a little bit of pressure, I guess, halfway health. Getting Zoro to use a lot of his defense, or using his cooldowns defensively instead of offensively this time. Here we go into game 2. Hanu's got his back against the wall on this one. He's got to make sure that he's getting to the high ground fast. He's got to get to that tier, to that no port. And yeah, there you go. This is something that he's got to be trying to do. Oh, he's going to use the smoke scale, go into stealth. Zoro's in stealth as well. Nice barrage by Hanu over here, knowing that he might come close. Gets him in the good maul. Nice anticipation. Good speed by Hanu. Now kind of makes Zoro understand what type of opponent he's against. Nice pushback. Unfortunate on the pushback. He pushes him all the way out of LOS. Not able to connect onto that barrage. Zoro getting very lucky on that. Taking full advantage of it. Resustaining himself. Tries to get that quick maul. Hanu's very quick on the drop. His APM through the roof, baby. I tell you what. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe a combo field. Dropping that big AoE. He's trying to force him into that hallway of death. But Hanu says, you know what? Not today, man. I'm not getting baited into there. This is another bad spot. Zoro loves using that to his advantage. Poking in really quick. Getting that big burst. Taking a couple free pot shots if he can. Now he's just kind of just auto... nice barrage, and this time he's not going to get fucked up. He saw that he got the pushback, saw him falling back, and chased him to get that barrage down on him. We got 45 seconds left in this map mechanic. I think this might be going to the timer. And Hanu reacting very quickly. As soon as he sees him come out of stealth, he goes right to the area, tries to get that big maul on top of him, trying to keep anything between him and Zoro, or in the last position that he saw him in at least. Tries to get that barrage and that big burst again. That's pretty much his go-to weapon so far. Nice damage coming out from Zoro. Nice, just a little bit of sustain coming out of him. Survives by the skin of his teeth. Let's see what he's going to be able to pull out here. Now there's no more healing. He has used his heal. Big barrage, nice melee damage. He gets the big maul on him. 7% health over here. Now, as I said, Zoro doesn't have any more healing, but at the same time, it only takes him one shot over here. He just has to breathe on him. Nice barrage coming out from Hanu. This is it. He could be taking his first championship. First tourney he enters into. He could be taking the first win already. Oh my goodness. Hanunu, can he do it? Can he stop the Deadeye from winning this tournament? Hanunu, out of nowhere, the unsung hero. I don't think I've ever seen it. I have to take a look at I have to go back over the statistics and my rosters, my old roster sheet. I don't think I've ever seen him before. Stunning. He is stunning me right now. Taking the tournament world by surprise. Now Zoro with a lot of pressure. Is he going to let the new guy just raffle stomp him like this? He's got a lot to prove over here. He's a 2-time champ, I believe, or maybe even a 3-time champ, Zoro, over here. He's participated in a lot of my tournaments. He's had over 30 matches. Well over 30 matches. Nice maul coming out from Hanu. Great stun. Catching Zoro right there. Now he's making him nervous over here. Keeping him very, very honest. Making sure that Zoro understands you can only stun stealth for a fraction of a second. And when you do, I'm going to be all over you. Making him very, 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 very nervous, I'm sure. Keeping that barrage. Nice knockback. That was really well placed. Good barrage. And that's Hanu. That's Hanu, guys. That is Hanu that just took it. Let's see that replay one more time. Very beautiful play coming out of here. That's Zoro's Look at it. Look at that knockback that he actually gets him in. That's Soro that gets 20 gold for being in second place, and that's Hanu, our first place champion. Thank you so much for coming. 30 gold to you, sir. That was excellently executed, guys. Excellence of execution. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway, guys. If you want to participate in the giveaway, you're more than welcome to. This is for followers and subscribers only. We're going to be doing, actually, you know what? We'll do it for everybody. But followers and subscribers get more luck. So followers and subscribers get 10 times luck. Followers get 5 times luck. And regular Joes get no luck. So the keyword today is going to be 1v1, guys. So in the Twitch chat, type in 1v1 into the Twitch chat if you want to enter into this. Yeah, thanks for